Hello, I'm trying to be energetic today. I'm still feeling it from last night. Have you had a nice couple of days here in Manchester?
Yeah, very, very busy days, actually.
Good.
Going to do quite a lot of exploring tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Around Manchester or?
Just in and around the Manchester area. I'm going to have to come back to the UK at some point later, so we can visit all the neighbouring cities and maybe Ireland, Scotland as well.
What is it you're going to see while you're here in Manchester?
Ooh, well, Trafford Centre sounds good. Apparently it's really close. Definitely heard something about a lot of castles as well. So
yeah, I mean, the US is full of castles. We're full of old shit over here. It's
castles, cathedrals, anything with like
you need to come to
architecture.
Liverpool. We've got 2 cathedrals.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to have the Beatles. That's quite good. We're going to talk about Trick or Treat, a film that you filmed a long time ago.
Yes.
It took a while coming out.
It did.
It sat on the shelf for a few years, and its legacy has just grown exponentially since 2009.
It has.
How old were you when you played this little guy?
7 years old.
7 years old.
Yep.
And you chased Brian Cox around the house.
With a little razor blade and a chocolate bar.
Always check your candy.
Always. Might find a razor blade.
Yeah, exactly. Only if it's your candy. How did you get into acting? Was Trick or Treat your first role? What was the process for you? Because obviously 7 years old, that's a big decision to make.
So yeah, Trick or Treat was my first lead role in a movie, and I'm not entirely sure if it was my first movie. I think it might have been my first movie. Before that, I was doing a lot of commercials, a lot of TV. But yeah, 7 years. I think I started acting when I was only 5, so it only took about 2 years, and then luck would have it, I landed that role through auditioning, actually. And yeah, it was, I think what really did it was the fact that Michael Dougherty was there in the room with me. So I had a nice little bit. Right as I was about to leave, I was like, hey, do you want me to show you something I think Sam would do? So I come back into the room and I start miming petting a cat. And I pick it up by the tail and walk off. And I think it actually made it into the movie.
Wow.
Because when Sam takes the candy bar from Dylan Baker, the principal, and he drags the bag down the stairs, you can hear there's something in the bag. Now, whether that's a cat or not is left to the imagination.
You cannot confirm or deny what was in that bag.
Exactly, but I have started to see some merchandise every once in a while with black cats and the like, so...
You know. What was... I just love his little face. What was it like on the set at 7 years old, making a film that is pretty freaking gnarly?
Not gnarly at all. What are you talking about? Well, on set, you get to see how everything works. So, of course, I was really into that. And just seeing all the prosthetics and makeup and all that. Oh, actually, I think it was even the first day that I went on set. They were filming the chocolate vomit scene with Charlie down the steps. And there's the director, Mike Dougherty. He's like, oh, Quinn, you're here. Come here. He shows me to the video screen. And you just see, it's the angle of when he's... it's looking up and it goes onto the screen. Yeah. So it's a nice slow motion replay of that.
That's cool.
That was my introduction to first day on
I like
set.
that Mike Dougherty kept you involved.
Yeah.
And let you see how the juice was made, so to speak. If anyone's got questions for Quinn, please throw your hands up. We've got Tim in the crowd with a roving... Right away, look at this.
Good morning, Quinn.
Good morning.
So you've said you were 7 when you played Sam. Did you think that all these years later you'd still be asked to wear the costume and have photographs?
Well, I think it's just depended on when you'd ask me. Back then, absolutely not. I think maybe even up to about 5 years ago, probably not, but still, that happened once, and then I was like, oh, this is really catching on. So yeah, I'm definitely all for putting the costume on again, just because there's something nostalgic about it, actually, because that was my childhood there. So it's I almost remember everything so vividly whenever I have the mask on. So, yeah.
Those memories from when you were a kid, they do stick stronger. There's stuff I did 2 weeks ago that I can't remember, but I can remember things from when I was 6, 7. Clear as day. I remember the first time I watched Halloween.
You just need that little spark, right?
And for you, being 7 years old, getting to dress up, hang out with Brian Cox, Anna Packwood, Mike Dougherty, I'm a huge fan of his work.
Yeah.
Because he did the X-Men films with Bryan Singer, he did Superman Returns, the Urban Legends, Bloody Mary, he made the Krampus, everyone's seen Krampus?
Yeah.
He did that kick-ass Godzilla movie a couple of years ago, remember that?
That he did, yeah.
Awesome. But he's always going back to Trick or Treat 2. He's always asked that question.
Yeah, that's his passion project. That's the one that he's really pouring all the love into. So I don't think it's any like I don't think it's a bad thing that's going to take this long for a sequel, because he wants to make the sequel as good as he can, and I respect that, because
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah.
the first one was so well received. You have to somehow either outdo it or match it, right? And in his perspective, of course, he wants to make something that he's satisfied with and he's proud of.
Do you think? I mean, obviously, you're probably a little bit too tall to play Sam. Do you think you'd find a role for you in there? Have you asked him?
Well, I did have 2 roles in the original movie. There was the peeping Tom in the change room at the beginning. He could grow up, I guess, because he's human.
Yeah. Some things you don't grow out of.
Yeah. Don't want to know what his fate will be. Nothing good. And then, of course, Sam, who wouldn't grow up, or at least I don't think so. And if I were to reprise the role, it would have to be that you'd use some sort of optical illusions and CGI, just like in the Lord of the Rings movies, to make the Hobbit smaller. That would have to be the ticket for that.
They'd have to put you in there somewhere.
You never know. But they do have a script for the sequel.
They do have a script?
They first glanced at a script, but of course it's probably going to be refined over the next year or so.
A fair few iterations before it gets to the final draft.
Slow and steady will win the race.
Does everybody know that Trick or Treat was filmed in 2007 and sat on a shelf for 2 years and then was dumped on Warner Premiere Home Video?
Yeah, well, DVD, yeah.
DVD, yeah. Of course it was, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until, I think, 2021, 2022 that I actually got a theatrical release.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
We went last year. It was Trick or Treat's one of my favourite movies for so many reasons, and it always killed me that it never got the release it deserved. How did you feel about that? Did you when they told you it wasn't coming out? Because at one point there was no release date.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was 7-year-old me, so I wasn't quite in the loop on everything. But then, of course, I heard the news somewhat, or I kind of understood the news at some point, and I was like, damn, that sucks, I guess. But then I didn't quite understand just how much it was missing until I saw it in the theaters myself.
How old were you when you eventually saw the movie?
Oh, I saw it when it came out on DVD. Well, 2/3 or 3/4 of the movie, because I wasn't able to watch the werewolf storyline for some obvious reasons.
I wonder why you weren't able to watch the werewolf bit.
Yep. But yes, as for the theatrical part, like to know what it was missing, not being in a theatrical setting, the music, that I think is probably the biggest thing. Just hearing that on a huge sound systems.
And the POV shots of Sam looking around, that really changes on a cinema. It's like
so accurate to the actual mask, too.
Yeah. It's like when you see Halloween on the big screen, you can hear Michael Myers breathing better and everything. It's very, very similar.
Yeah. I've seen some artwork of the two of them together as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're just going to ask Sam, when you were obviously 7 on the set, at what point did you realise of what sort of film you were starring in? And when did it dawn that you were a murderer sort of thing?
Well, I think I knew from the auditioning process. I auditioned for 2 roles, actually. One was the son of Principal Wilkins, who was talking about how Charlie Brown's an asshole. And then the other option was Sam. And of course, at the time, the characters, my parents were involved in the decision making. They're like, we don't really want our son to say some pretty bad things on screen, because it was actually way worse than asshole at the time, the wording. And that was the decision. It's like, do we want him to say bad words? Oh, we're perfectly fine with him killing people. And I was like, yes!
We've got... Oh, hello.
Hey there, Quinn. Just a quick question. You sort of mentioned the audition process there.
Yeah.
For a character who doesn't really talk and is sort of in the suit the whole time, what did the auditions sort of involve?
The audition actually did involve lines. And it was more of just saying the rhymes of trick or treat, give me something good to eat. Just in a kind of loopy way while I sort of slowly walk towards the impending doom of the victim. But of course, at the time, it was I really went for it. So I did like the whole growly voice, which I ended up using later in a different project, Smallville, where I was possessed and did like a nice little, Smallville surrounding like Superman. So of course it's like, at last, a Kryptonian. But in that case, it was more like the trick or treat kind of thing. But like as a 7-year-old, so unfortunately didn't keep the voice. But I got to use it at some point, so it was good.
I couldn't imagine him with a voice.
I know. Like after seeing the actual face, like under the mask, I was like, okay, yeah. That kind of tracks.
When the bag comes off and you see his face, was that still you?
The initial where the head was shaking, no. I think it had to do probably with like the torque and the weight of the animatronics and getting the shot just right. But another part that wasn't me was climbing on the ceiling, because they didn't want a 7-year-old climbing on the ceiling.
Of course.
I mean, I wanted to do it. I was really into the Spider-Man movies at the time, and I was like, oh, Dylan Baker, oh, he's a principal.
It would have been the time of Spider-Man 3, yeah, that's the good point.
Exactly, yeah. Because I just watched the second one, and then I was like,
let me be Tobey Maguire.
Exactly, yeah. But no crawling on the ceiling for me. But what they did let me do, which I was really excited by, was when old Mr. Krieg flips on the light switch, you just see the light explode and he runs across. That was me. That was fun.
That's cool.
It timed it just right. It was like, go. Someone was there, pushed me, and I was, and you just have the shattered bits of glass on the top, so they wiped it off.
What I love about Sam is that he's got elements of Chucky, elements of Michael Myers. He's like a mishmash of so many different characters, but he's very much his own thing.
Yeah.
Before we go to our next question at the back, is that question from Sam?
Can we bring him forward?
Yes, we can.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to come down?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's here.
Yeah.
He's come to visit us. How can he be in two places at once?
I know.
Bring him on stage.
Yeah, get him
Yeah.
up. Should we bring him up?
Yeah.
Let's bring him up. Can he see what he's going? Did you cut him any eye holes?
Oh, that's a necessity.
Come to the funnel of a horror. I won't let you see anything. You better get this kid up.
Yeah.
I don't think he can see where the stairs are.
Yeah, that's a bit of a issue with the mask. For me, it was the curbs.
What's your name?
Freddie.
Freddie. Give it up for Freddie, everybody. Yeah, come over here, center stage. Are you okay? Yeah, come on, you're all right. You gonna say hello to everybody, Freddie?
Hello.
You seem very nice. You're not gonna kill anyone? It's okay. Do you want to say hello to Quinn, who's the real Sam?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Aw. What a heartwarming moment. Kill him.
Oh no.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, I've got a question.
He's the same age as Quinn when he
Oh really?
was 7.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what was your favourite scene in the film?
Oh, my favorite scene when I was 7. Yeah. So there was actually a deleted scene when I was filming it. It was when Charlie was breaking all of the pumpkins, and the scene was he was breaking a bunch of pumpkins. Sam noticed this, and so there's this wide shot of him throwing an egg all the way across, and it just eggs Charlie, flips him off, and runs away.
Oh, man.
I think that quite embodies the character with a little less lethality. But that
So,
was,
have you had a good weekend, Freddie? Has it been cool meeting your favourite horror character and dressing up as him?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say to our audience before I kick you off the stage?
No.
No? That'll do. Thank you. What's your name, mate? Dean. Please give it up for Dean and Freddie! Thank you, guys. You're sacked. He's well better.
yeah.
Mike Doherty, Trick or Treat 2. I got this kid. Do we get a finder's fee if he gets in Trick or Treat 2?
Oh.
Freddie, do you need an agent? Me and Quinn, we know some people. We'll get them sorted.
Do we know people?
I don't know if we do know people.
Oh. Well,
Sean Clark, no. Sean Clark here. No. Tim's got another question. Has anybody here got loads of trick or treat merchandise? Has anyone got loads of trick or treat tattoos?
That's a lot of hands.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you find a lot of weirdos coming up to you with loads of weirdos coming up with trick or treat tattoos?
Not weirdos, just a lot of tattoos.
Just a lot of tattoos. I don't know what type of freak would get you tattooed on their body.
Well, I guess that's just just a self-description then.
Tim, we've got a question over there.
Hi, Quinn, and hi, Freddie, as well. Just wanted to ask, obviously, because you were 7 years old wearing that costume, were you able to keep the costume afterwards? Because I know you got a costume with you today, but I can't imagine it's the same one.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm probably double the height and probably a bit wider than I was back then. But yeah, no, I didn't get to keep the costume. But what I did get to keep was some of the original burlap material, which was stashed away somewhere very safe. Yeah. I've seen a lot of very good, very well done Sam outfits.
There's one over there as well. Hello.
Yeah, that was a really, really well done one.
Is the bag got cats in? Just give it a little bang for me. And we've got another question over to the left. Hello.
Hi, Quinn. Huge fan. Really nice to speak to you. Twofold question, a little bit cheeky.
Okay.
Because you were so young, did you find that there was ever a moment when you were scared on set? It is quite a spooky film.
Absolutely not.
And the second one is, do you follow Sam's rules for Halloween?
Ah, yes, I do. Although the strike during Halloween, the SAG strike during Halloween made it a little bit tricky to wear a costume as an actor. I did manage to follow all of the rules, not just some. So it did, yeah. I have always followed the rules and always put on a costume. Yeah, I've gone through so many different characters through Halloween. It's probably one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday, right next to Christmas, just because of the giving and, of course, the cosplay. Had I not been an actor, I'd probably be showing up to all sorts of conventions and just wearing all sorts of costumes. And so, yeah.
If you could dress up as anyone that isn't yourself, what character would you cosplay as?
Oh, wow. Well, at the moment, I'm watching through Star Trek, so I think I might just have to put on one of those uniforms.
You thinking classic Star Trek?
Through the 90s, so like the Patrick Stewart era.
Yeah, the good shit, yeah.
The good
while
shit.
I was doing some research on you, just, so I looked like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
There's a list of films that came up. You worked on The Hole with Joe Dante?
That is correct.
That's very cool.
Yes.
He's a horror legend as well. You did Masters of Horror. You were in Supernatural.
Yep.
You were in the short-lived Blade TV series.
Yes.
Did everyone remember the Blade TV show with Sticky Fingers as Blade? All 4 people who watched that show were in the audience.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? I thought it was all right. It's hard to live up to Wesley Snipes.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And what really, really tickled me was, it says on Wikipedia, so I don't know how true it is,
Oh, yeah?
you were in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Has everybody seen the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus? Heath Ledger's last ever movie, wasn't it? He filmed it after Batman, but before he passed away, and didn't finish it. So you had Colin Farrell, Jude Law,
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp came in to take over.
Yeah.
So what were you in? What were you in that movie?
I would.
You were Johnny Depp.
No, I was the very, very end of the movie. A kid buying the little toy set that they were selling that summed up the movie.
Wow.
It was their little toy set of the, I believe it was the carriage that they're traveling around with.
How
like
old
the
were you
stage.
then? About 8?
Something like that, yeah.
7. Wow. Who did you work with on that movie? It was obviously Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, I got to meet, I directly worked with, I believe, Terry Gilliam, but then Christopher Plummer and Vern Troyer. That was something.
Holy smokes.
I didn't get to meet most of the rest of the cast, though.
No. If you've never seen the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, that is a stacked cast. It's not the best Terry Gilliam film. Obviously, he was working with some challenges. Heath Ledger. Is Katie Mulligan in it? Andrew Garfield's definitely in it.
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer. It's
Yeah.
it's an amazing movie
It's a lot of people.
for different reasons.
Yeah, I was just barely in it, but
And Quinn Lord is in it for 4 seconds buying a toy.
3.
Quinn Lord's in it for 3 seconds. This is why we've got to be that kid's agent. We need to sort that out.
Of course, yeah.
We've got about 5 minutes left, so if you do have any questions for Quinn, please throw your hand front row, sir. Right there. Come on, Tim. Look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
Scares me beyond belief.
We're going to get him a tricycle next year.
Get him some blades. Quinn, great to meet you. Glad to hear you'd said you would come back to the UK. We've been waiting a really long time to meet you.
Yeah.
Quick question. Have you had a Sam come to your own home for Trick or Treat? And just out of curiosity, what would be your treat of choice and what would be your trick of choice?
Oh, that is a good one. I unfortunately haven't had a Sam come to my house yet, but oh wow, I'm not sure what I would do actually. I'd have to share some sort of Sam merchandise that I have. Like I have a huge collection of Sam merchandise that I'm either given at these conventions or that I just have to have, one of everything, right? So anything I have a duplicate of. That is the Sams, and they unfortunately they would know where I live after that, but but yeah, that would be a very good day.
Do you have like a little shrine of all your Sam stuff?
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite collectible? Or your favorite piece of merch?
I think probably my favorite pieces of merch would probably be the specifically made for me bits.
Yeah.
Because it's completely unique. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, well, it most of the time it's homemade, so it's like it's really, they went through the trouble of making it, and only once.
I love that though. You guys get such a response from the fans, like from cosplayers to people giving you artwork and making things. It's tremendous. I honestly, every year, For the Love of Horror crowd outdoes itself with the stuff that it does.
Yeah.
It's genuinely amazing. And there's so many talented artists and cosplayers.
Yeah. And there's always something new. Creativity knows no bounds.
Man.
So.
Oh, I was going to say, I've got a little action figure of you that I keep up all year round next to a Happy Halloween sign. All year.
Wow.
Stays up at Christmas and everything. He's just a cool little character. They came back and did shorts for Christmas and Easter and stuff.
Oh, I believe so.
Was that not you?
No, I think I grew up by then.
You're probably too tall by then, to be fair. Yeah. Unbelievable. Guys, where are we looking? Where's Tim?
I've definitely seen some of those, Sam and Michael Myers artworks.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that should become a short at some point.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I think you'd win.
Yeah.
You'd cut his head off with a sharp.
Almost like you had Alien and Predator.
With a sharp lollipop.
Yeah.
Is Tim rollerblading around the crowd? He's gone. He's absolutely gone. He's left us.
He vanished. Maybe he broke a rule.
Where have you been? He's trying to poach that kid's deal, I'm telling you. Is there any more questions for Quinn Lord? I think they're letting you off easily.
That's good.
Should we start the heavy questions now?
Sure, why not?
So what's next for you then? I don't mean directly this afternoon. I know you're probably going to go for a Nando's in the Trafford Centre or something like that.
Yeah, what's next is my vacation in the UK directly. But as far as professionally, I did finish a family-friendly, independent film that is an anime superhero movie. It's called EK Boys.
Okay.
Finished that in 2019, 2020, right before the pandemic hit. So post-production was all through the pandemic. I was recording on my own microphone at home, just learning how to do the ADR process, which is very interesting. But it's almost it's starting to almost have the inklings of the same start that Trick or Treat got. Fingers crossed that it turns into something even half
it snowballs,
as good.
a little bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah. Well, it's a completely different genre as well, but it happened in 2019. Now it's 2023, almost 2024, and I'm getting the first couple of fans to come to a horror convention, which is kind of out of the element, and say that they like the movie. It's hang on a second, what happens if I go to an anime convention?
There we go.
Right? It's almost the same feeling I got when I first heard about Trick or Treat.
It's going to happen.
I hope so.
I hope so as well. And I hope we can get you back here again another time because it was an absolute pleasure.
Okay.
Guys, Please give it up for the one and only Quinn Lord.